Podcasting from the Clinton Hill section in Brooklyn, New York, this is the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. For me, as always, it's good morning, and as always, whenever you choose to listen to this in the morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, I always appreciate the looks, the listens, the support, and I'll always appreciate you hitting that subscribe and notification bell on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. All right, how you guys living? How you living? Are you living in fear? Are you living lackadaisical? Are you living in your own bubble? Are you living with strength and you know exactly what you're doing and how you're moving forward to go do it? Reason I ask this because, of course, when is there not a polarizing time in history? There's always something going on. For as long as I've been alive and reading history, and in every section of the world, there's always something popping off. But are you going forward with strength? Are you going forward with assuredness? Are you going forward in fear? How are you living? Well, I'm just gonna drop a few gems for you guys here, just because we're looking currently, as I'm recording this, at COVID, and we're looking at wave 2, and things are spiking up. But the way I see it, it's just like another virus strain to me when I do my research and look at the whole bigger picture. So I'm not gonna say to not take the proper precautions, because in one of my past podcasts, I believe it might have been Pace Not Panic. Could have been another one too. But anyways, the flu has been killing people, in crazy record numbers before COVID came around, and still continue to do so. But no one really went to the extreme measures to make you as alarmed about it. And the reason you should be alarmed, but not in the state where you're in a state of panic, you need to live not with fear. And the first reaction you shouldn't have is to run to the pharmaceutical companies, a lot of doctors. Yes, if anything's wrong with me, I will go to a doctor. If I know something is wrong and I don't have anything to really address it on my own, then I'm gonna need a little bit more of a more professional diagnostic, so they can pretty much tell me what exactly it is that's going on that I can't figure out. So what I like to do is what they call natural remedies. And a lot of people who grew up, around the way, a lot of Caribbean people, y'all know all these things. One of the first things that you can easily take as a preventative care is garlic. Garlic actually does a lot. One thing I know, it helps reduce blood pressure, hypertension. So if you're suffering those things, it's good to use a lot of garlic, possibly boil it. And it's good for detoxing as well. If you could take it, because if you take it like this, if you chop it up and put it in a teaspoon of honey, no, not honey, sorry. You can probably put honey in it too, but probably some olive oil is something that the missus and me done tried already. You can take that to help detoxify you. It's not a pleasant feeling, maybe at first, maybe all the time, because the first time I did it, I had this gag reflex because I felt like you were about to throw up. But it's actually good for you and great for you. So you could take that if you want to prevent anything happening to you, or something is going on with you, you feel like it could be an illness, an ailment, whatever, you could take that. And again, like I said before, it's good for hypertension. It's also good for blood pressure. Something else that we like to take too, also good for cleaning your blood and many other things too. I'm just going off the top of the head with certain things that I do kind of on a regular, because I've researched them, but I may not remember every single thing, but you could easily research all this stuff. I like to use aloe vera. Take the straight aloe vera. I don't know if every single supermarket sells it, but I'm pretty sure you can find it, especially in these organic places that are there, kind of like a Whole Foods. Maybe, I don't know if a Wegmans would have it. I don't know if like a Fairway or Trader Joe's would have it. But you could find it, especially in New York. But if you can't, try and research someplace. If you're living somewhere that doesn't have this stuff, take the aloe and peel it. Peel all the green skin off of it, and then you're left with this really slimy, translucent thing. It looks nasty, feels nasty, especially if you're not used to seeing it. You throw that in the blender. You throw a little bit of water, good water, not just regular tap water. people out here speeding out here today in Clinton Hill. Anyways, you put it in some water in a blender and you blend it up. You can add that to some orange juice, like a jug of orange juice or whatever. The orange juice is already good for you. We already know that. But you can add a little bit of extra kick to that orange juice. It's good for a little bit of, detoxifying, helps clean your blood. It's good for a whole lot of things, a whole plethora of things. It's very bitter. You'll have to get used to that, but it's very bitter. Another thing that's also good for if you feel that you're coming down with an ailment, you could take pineapples, right? But what we did, we peeled the pineapple skin, threw that in a pot of water, okay? Cut up some ginger, threw that in some water. You could shred it up too so it can release all the good stuff that ginger has inside of it. I threw a little bit of turmeric in there as well, actual turmeric root, cut that up, threw that in there for extra kick. Put some cloves in there, and then I just boiled it. I boiled it all out, and then once you're done with the water, you could drink it as a tea. You could throw honey in there, and it's good to probably use lime and in there as well. All of those things individually has its own medicinal properties, but that is really good if you are, again, feeling under the weather, feeling sick, you want to prevent it or at least slow it down or stop it. You could do that. What you can do, if you're able to, as it's boiling or boiled and the steam is coming up, you could just hover over it with a towel and inhale that for a while. There are a whole lot of different ingredients out there you could do that with, and I got kind of upset when code was popping off and people were showing it was usually African people were showing how they cleared their someone in their household's sinuses and stuff. They were feeling sick, and after they held the towel over a big pot of whatever, they were great after that. The problem I had with that is that they never shared what the hell they put inside that pot. I'm like, okay, you say, you see this African remedy, it solves everything, but okay, cool. How about you share it with the rest of us? So what I'm doing, what I know can work for you, I'm going to share. I'm not just going to show you or tell you, that you just do this, chop some stuff up. I'm going to tell you exactly what to put in there. You could always research more things. The goal is to not always run to the pharmaceutical companies or those that are backing the pharmaceutical companies. Most doctors, I believe, have your best health and interest, but then a lot of doctors actually go to the academics or the academic organizations that are funded by pharmaceutical companies. So it'll be in the doctor's best interest to always push that, and that's how they learn things. So I remember one time talking to a doctor. I know the doctor, very good rapport, and it had a very, very good credentials and everything. I know he had to be doing a practice for at least 10 years, if minimum. I'm pretty sure more. But when I told him about garlic being able to reduce high blood pressure, he said, oh, interesting. It's crazy how a lot of these physicians, don't know about these things that is grown. And a lot of these pharmaceuticals, they are manufactured to mimic what's already here on the ground, on God's, Elohim's great green earth. So when I say how you living, I'm going to help you to live a little bit better. Don't panic, man, because fear and anxiety and doubt is a killer, literally a killer. It'll kill your spirit. It'll kill your body. What I'm trying to help you do is help keep your body maintained as best as possible without the ill effects of all of these pharmaceuticals. Now, everything that I told you, of course, you have to use, of course, in moderation and caution. So it'll behoove you to research all of these things. And, use it as you think is needed, as it's applied. And the more you actually look at these things, the more you learn as you go along the way. So, how you living? I hope you're living a little bit better now since I dropped a little bit of gems with you. It's not every single thing that I know the top of my head, but whenever I do have a chance to remember and definitely moved to think about these things, I will definitely share them with you because I want all of you guys to be living the best possible life that Elohim has granted you with. Remember, he didn't make you with fear, and he didn't make us with all these pharmaceuticals growing above the ground. We got all his beautiful, lush green earth and herbs and vegetables and fruits to help us along. That's all we really need. So, you've made it to the end of my podcast. Thank you for listening. You can catch the rest of my content on my website at www.brooklynbaritone.com. You can catch me on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. I'm also on LinkedIn under Corey Ashley. You could also find me and my content on Instagram and on Facebook. I am also on the Google Play Store, the Apple iTunes Play Store, and the Amazon Music Podcast app. Yes, I'm there. Anyways, thank you very much for listening. I pray that you all are blessed, you walk good, be the best person you possibly can for yourself and everyone around you. I'm out, and enjoy the rest of this day. You'll hear from me next week. I'm out.